I who once thought myself a sainted satyr, whose eye-tooth clamped on fawn flesh, am now an old enfeebled fakir. My thyroid swells, coughing clouds these aromatic evenings, and in wintry pre-dawns, when tapering dark withdraws its shroud, corroded kidneys excrete calcium through the poppied soundings of my sleep.
I grubbed on hardcore in the 80s. I was feverish with discharge.
Crass with penis envy.
A conclave of necros and buzz-cropped oi boys.
Masked and skanked across the latrine-scented floors of tavens like the Coronation. A dank and injured citadel looking out at the smutty skyline of Detroit.
All it took was one shout to ignite us, the bellowing beat of a kick drum.
And we pumped into action. Flexed forearms and choral growls.
Lunging at the microphone, the call and response rituals of nameless field slaves, honed down to hoarse outbursts of suburban angst, and the stabbing abruptness of a song's end.
I was a fatuous, bad-brained bundle of untried bravado.
A political pretender with little Gramsci and less Lenin.
My side-shorn hair, a dyed blonde bouffant. My ancestry, Austro-Illyrian. I was a thrift store bohemian, rummaging for recycled clothes, even as the smell of salted cod, domiciled in the depths of my nose.
It was an age of beery chants on the art school barricades, the avant-garde tribe flying its black anarchic flag again, yet keening for an undersized aristocrat who sang of paisley and purple in his pants.
And our brigada bridged the bordering river into the land where Reagan reigned.
And there, in a room in Royal Oak, she unbuttoned her top.
And disencumbered me of my second-hand cravat.
But the years tumbled and groaned, the babbling idiocies of several Aprils, scattered idealists and imbeciles alike.
And the rebel carnival suddenly sobered and broke rank when OSAP called in the money it loaned.
And here I am, a garage rock relic.
A faltering mirage, tucked at the back of a mixed-age millennial hangout.
Styled to look like a lemonade shack.
Grimed and marled with time and thought, I order up a stout and settle into my appointed booth, muttering ex cathedra obscurities as the band tunes up. Do I sense a corrosive trickle of ressentiment leaking through my shorts?
Do I duck and dodge the statistical reaping of this year's sickle?
Only to retool my rants against the young, scorning their computer-crafted music worlds.
And burping out anecdotes of underground glam.
The time I stood at stage edge, captivated by the improbable velar pink of that Hanoi bloke.
When his mouth, vulva-like, swam toward the microphone, arching into a CCR cover.
Not worth it. I'd only stroke and nourish my own inhumed mirth.
And if I cried out, who'd hear my elegiac wail? Freddy's with the hurrah,
and Bowie's a seraph free of earth. And there's nothing to assure us that heaven sings in stereo any better than this band.
Banging out its loud grind as lights lower and the bar
starts to throng.
The world's gone gay, an epicene. A lusty,
unconfigured place where to toy with chromosomes and creams bespeaks the tenor of the times.
The old sententious cynics, the faded Jaggerites, stagger off with teeth pulled tight against the doctor's stiffened digit.
Seems every erstwhile wanker plowing through the pink
has his hour in the clinic, and same be said for every cross-dressed diva and goddamn banker.
Learn to conform your ass to the proctologist's probe and surf your gurney in good faith. Learn to love life's odd surprises, and if grace comes down in many guises, just think where we'd be sans state-run health care or fate's contingent gifts.
So count your clean colon a blessing. As for me and mine, I'll pass small gas. Laughter from swollen stomachs.
And make my covenant with plebeian pleasures.
Come crowd my hovel. Let's drink the bitter bread together. We'll order up Alaska Pollock, lemon-licked and battered.
Decorum once assured, gents and ladies separate entrances, difference seemed to matter. Now it's pelvis to posterior any way you roll it.
I thought we'd split some beers and trade opinions on au pairs, but no one chats me back.
I burrow down into my oubliette and watch the pantomime. A second pint in hand.
A chance to suck wind and reflect on the unpurged ironies of life. The seed time
and the sin, the abductions had and squandered.
My idling loins would gorge themselves again, but arterial narrowing repeals the leap of hard desire.
And I slumped down, smothered in the smithy din of modern rap booming through the room.
Who knew percussion could be so prolix?
My peccati are a spiraling mountain. The governess gave great fellatio, one hand gyring up the blooded bone back when climate talk was mostly ozone. But where's your shit-faced sex tonight? The gig's not there.
My governess, her nubile nickname, took back her pout and fled with the jet stream, on course toward the east.
First to T.O., where she shacked up on Bathurst, then out to sea in the arms of a diver. They married at Dartmouth and promptly divorced, and now she's on Instagram, posting from Turkey.
I shrugged it off long ago. The eggs unlaid, the girlfriend's gone, the life unwived and childless, like some mild-eyed, soffit-trapped Macbeth, effetely saying there would have been time for such a turd, and time's slow pace is like tedium at rest, like scarce-drawn breath, or the sound of eyeliner being applied.
Stumped like a coppice cut and screwed to an auger rut. Here's me, folks. Just another hangdog Thane trapped in his final tower, eyeing the club.
Those saplings you spy are young women's legs, sun-sprayed and glazed.
Staring out through a well-brewed haze, wondering at the close of it all.
I hear the household call of the cardiac nerve. I sense death, tapping its cane to the music.
Sly old stinker, he's been lurking in the throes of life's lusts and anxieties. Every pain,
every gaseous gut thrust tells me old man Mortmain is raising toasts.
This is for you, all you pruned-out punks who pissed behind bookies and hung out on Cass. Your moment was mine. Stage dives and straight edge, moshing in combats, misfits and hardheads, shaved to the skin.
And what now? Where's the closure? What's the coda? To compare the moribund Caucasian male to a shrunken commonwealth whose stock is falling?
Who might as well bow forehead to the ground and eat mud? His balls were a sack of salted honey, spunky catacombs of joyous rage.
But what now? What's to do? 40 years at retro? Yes! Ili ovo bilo samo pjesništvo ili istodobno takozvana usmena povijest? I to je pitanje.